But on the left, you have the prominent individuals are directly advocating for things that are destructive to society in any capacity.
So are prominent Christians, and have been doing it for a long time. You're just saying
Which is why I'm saying the tendency today.
You're saying there are prominent atheists who have views that we don't like, but I can do the same thing.
Not that we don't like.
Prominent Christians,
not that we don't like,
that are doing things that are destructive.
That are right. Which is why I said there's a tendency. If you are a Trump supporting personality, say you're Ashley St. Clair, and then you hook up with Elon Musk and have a baby out of wedlock, she is getting mercilessly attacked. Mercilessly. I mean, they're leaking messages. Former friends are posting her screenshots of chats they've had. It is wrong. What you did is wrong. They're saying you can't do this. It's destructive. It's bad. You have done something wrong. Liberals, tending to be atheists or otherwise, are saying, who cares? Who cares if you have a dad? Who cares? Party, do drugs, don't have children, do whatever. It is a fact that those things lead to higher crime. This is one of the principal reasons Trump, who people thought would never win, ended up winning.
Where's the data point that correlates to that?
To which point?
That secularism leads to higher crime.
I have studies here.
As it turned out, there's lots of studies on it.
And the point I'm bringing up is over the past 10 years, over the past 30 years, the policies implemented in major cities, almost every major city, run by Democrats, many of whom they're not completely atheist, but overwhelmingly, these cities are the places where they're bubbling up atheism, where the prominent personalities, celebrities or otherwise, are anti-Christian, where the universities are anti-Christian. These are where the policies are getting implemented, where we see prisoners are being let out, violent criminals are being let to reoffend. An axe murder was just released. It became a huge story. We're not seeing that rate of crime per capita in, or even in its entirety, in Christian, Republican-led cities.
I think the point you're trying to make is that we see a different cultural idea. When Christians do horrible things all the time, absolutely. No one is denying that. Atheists do horrible things. No one's denying that. We're seeing different in terms of mentalities in these two groups. One is promoting a culture of destructiveness, is what you're trying to say, and one is promoting a culture that is pro-sociality. When conservatives do something bad, they get attacked by their own group saying, stop doing this, it's destructive. Meanwhile, Bill Maher and people on the left are not attacking. They're saying that's just normal hedonism. It's great, wonderful. And I think that the point that you're trying to make is like we see two different cultural phenomenons coming out, and you're trying to ask what the difference is.
It is a tendency among the Christian right, and it's largely Christian, to say, hey, you shouldn't be morbidly obese. Stop eating garbage, start exercising, and live a better life. Be virtuous, be fruitful, and multiply.
But they're more obese. Statistically.
In rural areas, however, what I'm talking about is the cultural phenomenon of body positivity. So absolutely, there are people who are amoral or bad. In fact, it's actually it's an interesting bell curve. The right is more likely to be fit and more likely to be fat than liberals.
Not according to the data points I've looked at.
Well, then look them up again.
The conservative right wing, especially the Christian right wing, are way more obese in almost every country.
Which is not what I said. Okay, once again, it's a bell curve. People on the right, and particularly Christian conservatives, are more likely to be fit and more likely to be fat. That means it's the extreme ends, right? Bell curve. So you will find that this was a big talking point in 2018 or so when the corporate press kept running these stories saying working out will make you right wing. And it is true that people who tend to exercise more and more start to become more right wing, and people who are already right wing, more conservative with moral traditional values, are more likely to exercise. But then you also do, it is true, find that there are more morbidly obese people at the same time, meaning it's a wider bell curve than liberals. On the liberal side, you will find they advocate for and they cherish and they advertise morbid obesity to the point where they have the body positivity campaigns that conservatives will roast and make fun of. So there are lapsed moral individuals on the right, 100%, and there is social advocacy for destructive behaviors on the left. Or you could take a look at the transgender issue as well. Mm-hmm. Advocating for children to sterilize themselves or for parents to sterilize their children is not a Christian phenomenon.
And that's also, again, going to cause decreased fertility rates for people on the left, for the atheist, agnostic side of things. Meanwhile, on the Christian side, you have high fertility rates, replacement population, preventing mass migration of Islam coming in with their Sharia law, and then ruining a lot of traditionally Christian countries with horrible
honestly,
values.
Debate over. Can a nation survive?
Debate is about just birth rates then. That's the only factor?
I mean, so that is such
as long as we have more kids and let them get raped, it's better off.
No one said that.
You
second
keep
part.
doing that.
Birth rate
You're not arguing
is
anything when you do
hardly like an argumentation for why
nobody
we
is
need
for
Christianity.
nobody is for kids getting raped. Like no sane person trying to run a sound society is advocating for what you're claiming. That's a straw man. It makes no sense.
Simplify, like kids without dads. Are we better off just having more kids, 60 million more kids, but they don't have I don't think so.
Can't survive.
And the divorce rate inside the church is the same as the divorce rate outside of the church, unless you're Catholic. Catholics surprisingly stay married longer. But in Protestant religions, they don't. It's exactly the same inside Protestant religion than it is outside of Protestant religion.
To be fair, the prominent influencers that I was referring to, they tend to be Catholic.
Yeah, for sure.
That's interesting.
And
Catholics
are
only have a
Christians.
19% divorce rate.
Wow.
It's striking. Protestants over 51%.
So this is a Catholic versus Protestant debate. Let's get the
No,
Irish
what I'm
involved.
saying is what I'm saying is like there are so many indicators in a society like that we say are bad, like birth rates. We want good birth rates. Divorce rates. We want people to stay married longer. You know,
It's
having
Reagan's fault.
well,
Reagan's fault.
but what I'm saying is there's so many indicators of what is good in society that if we're just going to pick one and say, yeah, it's bad that birth rates are down. Well, guess what? You know, a lot of other countries had worked on this. There have been countries that have now putting incentives in place to actually do tax cuts and pay people to have families. And we're starting to see payoffs for that. Just introducing a religion into society doesn't fix the birth rate.
No,
we
I
need
agree.
more than that.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon. So subscribe and come hang out.